This is a story about Bull Demon King and black myth Wukong, which is considered the most tragic by many people. The Bull Demon King was originally Wukong's sworn brother and called himself the Great Sage who pacifies heaven, a title equal in stature to Wukong's Great Sage equal to heaven. He was incredibly powerful, one of the few who could match Wukong's strength without relying on artifacts. These two once wreaked havoc together in the celestial court, fighting side by side against the gods and Buddhas. During Wukong's rampage in the celestial court, he kicked over the Supreme Lord Laozi's alchemy furnace, which fell to the mortal world and became the Flaming Mountains. The young disciple in charge of watching the furnace was blamed for negligence and was banished to the mortal world as the keeper of the Flaming Mountains. His senior sister, Rakshasi, had taken good care of him and volunteered to descend to the mortal realm to help him. Eventually, she was married off to the Bull Demon King by the Supreme Lord Laozi. After Wukong became Tang Sanzang's disciple and journeyed west to retrieve the Buddhist scriptures, they passed through the Flaming Mountains, where the Bull Demon King's family lived. The Bull Demon King's son, Red Boy, was technically Wukong's nephew by oath. Wild and rebellious by nature, he often caused trouble, as his parents never disciplined him properly. Unaware of the brotherly bond between his father and Wukong, Red Boy wanted to capture Tang Sanzang and offer him to his parents to eat when he saw them passing by the Flaming Mountains. In the end, Wukong had to go to the Southern Sea and ask for Guanyin Bodhisattva's help to subdue Red Boy. After that, Red Boy was taken away by Guanyin and started to learn behaving himself. When Wukong later asked Rakshasi for the plantain fan to extinguish the flames of the Flaming Mountains so that they could pass through, Rakshasi refused because Wukong had sent away her child. Wukong had no other way but to trick her to obtain the fan and eventually pass through the mountains. This is why Wukong said,
"Your boy, I've given away your wife's fan. Today, I'll take it with me too."
In black myth Wukong, the Yaksha clan was wiped out by Mount Lingshan. During that incident, Supreme Lord Laozi took the soul of the deceased son of the old Yaksha king, then forced Rakshasi to drink from the river of childbearing, using her womb to give birth to the last bloodline of the Yaksha, which is the Red Boy. Supreme Lord Laozi's goal was to leave a hidden threat to Mount Lingshan. Mountain Lingshan and the Celestial Court scheme against each other, with humans and demons in the mortal world being mere pawns in their game. Guanyin sought to subdue Red Boy because she knew his true origins and wanted to mitigate this threat for Mount Lingshan. The Bull Demon King believed that his family's ruin was all Wukong's fault. He developed a deep hatred for Wukong, even imagining the scene that Wukong and the Celestial Court killed him. What he didn't realize was that this was Wukong's only way to save his family. The Bull Demon King assisted in the Celestial Court's operation to hunt down Wukong. When the Bull Demon King opened his eyes, he found the dying Wukong in his arms. Wukong finally revealed his thoughts. He had believed that by assisting Tang Sanzang in obtaining the scriptures and accumulating enough merit to become a Buddha, the Celestial Court would spare both him and the Bull Demon King's family. Little did he know, as long as Wukong was alive and no longer serving the Celestial Court or Lingshan, his very existence would be considered a crime. Only then did the Bull Demon King truly understand Wukong's reasoning, but it was too late.
Brother, and remember, steer clear of the light I made.
After Wukong's death, Bull Demon King was given one of the 6 relics, the Grieved Body. The Bull Demon King totally changed after that operation. His former wild and unrestrained nature was gone, but he never tried to absorb Wukong's relic because Wukong had warned him to steer clear of his remains. Instead, he hid it inside his stomach. This caused him to vomit constantly, grow emaciated, and prematurely age. Decades later, Red Boy was released by Guanyin from the Southern Sea. Having learned the truth about his origins, his personality changed drastically. Even the fox girl Ping Ping was always a bit fearful when speaking to him. Vengeful Red Boy was desperate to avenge the Yaksha clan. But the Bull Demon King doesn't want to give out Wukong's relic to him, purely out of fatherly love. When the Destined One arrived, Red Boy feigned death and tricked the Bull Demon King into vomiting up the relic, but the Destined One also needed the relic. So the two persons with no real grudge against each other fought to the death, leaving the Celestial Court and Mount Lingshan to reap the benefits. The Bull Demon King family became nothing more than pawns in the power struggle between the Celestial Court and Mount Lingshan, ultimately meeting their tragic end. Thank you for watching. Do you agree that Bull Demon King's family is the most tragic in Black Myth Wukong? Let me know in the comments.